Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And as you can see, I have a sheep test mob here, and he's just walking around randomly, just jumping around, etc, etc. But if I hold up a piece of dry grass, then he'll try to follow me, and he'll do it successfully. But if I let it go, he'll just go off on his own, do whatever he wants to do. And this is great because now mobs will follow you around if you're wielding an item. And I'm not sure what's going on with the pathfinding. I'm gonna have to figure out what's wrong with it. There's a couple of variables in the code, but I'll have to see what's up. Another good thing that I've implemented is if I get far enough away here and then I fail to update the cost map, then it will continue to go on its path, and its path will slowly deplete until I get into an area where it can locate me. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to stop it from spewing debug info, and that's pretty interesting up there. But yeah, now mobs will try to follow you around. They'll go as fast as they can, as fast as they're programmed to go in your API code, and I think that's pretty nifty. And they still look pretty dumb. Not gonna lie, I think this sheep needs a little smile or something. Let's see, so if I let go of this, then he'll just go off on his merry way. And they are dumb when they're not following. They use basically a random yaw, and they'll use a random velocity, and they'll go to that velocity and that yaw, and they'll just kind of walk around randomly. I am going to eventually include pathfinding to just open up a voxel manipulation every time it changes path, and then have it go to a random node in the area. And as you can see, if they're going too slow, then they actually won't use any animation at all. That's another thing I'm gonna have to program in, is stopping and standing still. But yeah, another thing I'm going to be implementing versus this dumb walking around is I'm gonna have it so you can have them so they're like generally stupid, like they won't try to avoid things. And I'm going to have it so that if they're smart, like this sheep should be, they'll try to avoid doing that. They'll just, instead of doing this, they'll like walk around it and jump around and just keep going on their merry way. But yeah, I'm gonna have goals programmed in so you can have it go to a desired node, like grass or dry grass or something, or even trees if they're flying. I'm not sure how I'm going to do pathfinding flying. That's going to be rather difficult, actually. I think I'm going to have to use the dumb AI for them to just fly around. If they get stopped, they'll just turn around or something. But yeah, for now, they're either smart, and they follow, and they avoid going off cliffs and stuff, or they're dumb, and they just walk around randomly. Now, if I make them follow me over here, and we'll just walk them over to this thing, and he'll get here eventually. The sheep are rather slow, but I could have it so you could walk, or it could outrun you very easily, and it'll eventually get up here. I'm using a third path step instead of a second, so that they don't get stuck walking in circles. And also I've updated it so they check every 0.1 D times and update their pathfinding every 0.1 D times rather than do it 0.25, because 0.25 would cause issues. But yeah, they're pretty smooth, they don't lag, and they'll follow you around. And also they'll avoid, let's see if I can find a little cliff over here. Yeah, they'll avoid going off cliffs and stuff. That's just part of the default gaming or default game functions. Let's see if he'll figure out how to get up here, if I can manage it. Let's see. Come over here. They only have a radius of 10. I'm going to have that radius definable. When you define a radius, you shouldn't go too high, because if it's a lot of items, it'll try to cycle through all the items in the radius. It only checks if the object is player, which is nice. And let's see if he can make it up here. Looks like he's doing a pretty good job, actually. Can he Can you get over here? Yep, he got up here. Oh no, he's just jumping off the cliff. No. I'm gonna have to make it so if they lose track of you, they'll stop and they'll just fall until they find where you are. I'll probably do that right now, actually. But yeah, they do a pretty good job of tracking you down. Also, I've removed the double bug issue, so they won't. The double jump issue. So if I show off what I showed off last time, I believe I made a bunch of videos I didn't actually publish, and one of them was showing off the debug, or the double jumping issue. Come here, little buddy. Come on, follow me. Let's go. And they won't double jump when they enter into a walled area. And he'll get in here eventually, and he finally made it. And as you can see, he's just jumping through. That's just because of his collision box. And he'll follow you around, and he'll come up here, and then walk away for no reason whatsoever. That's another thing that I said before, is that if they lose track of you, they gotta stop until they're seated onto a node. Because if they're not seated onto a node, they can't actually pathfind to you. Because the way the pathfinding works is it will check above all of the nodes, and if they're floating, there's nowhere to start, I believe. Could be wrong though. Let's see if I can make it so these things avoid jumping off this giant thing. Spawn entity, open AI test. Whoops, that's capitalized. Okay. No, buddy, no, don't do that. Yeah, they're dumb when they're not near you, and you're not wielding an item. No, they're all just jumping away. Why? All right, let's get into a more reasonable area. Just get a bunch of them going. Okay. Now follow me. Yeah, they're trying. Let's see how many of them actually make it up here. I doubt any of them, because they're like colliding with each other. Oh no, they're all stuck. They're a little silly for now. And of course, if I just let it go, then they'll just all walk away randomly, just jumping off stuff. And he's following me. He's not crowded. Come on, buddy. Let's go up here. Follow me. Let's see how he figures this one out. Oh, smarter than me. I think the only problem that these mobs truly have is the fact that the entities collide with each other hard versus softly, like in Minecraft. In Minecraft, entities like collide with each other and have a magnetic system where they'll try to push away from each other. I'll eventually implement that. I've already implemented that into my, I believe it was Minetest redo or something, where I made a mob mod where I had giants and all that other stuff, and they would basically magnetize away from each other. It wasn't perfect at all, but they kind of did it. I think in this AI I'll be able to do it a lot better. But yeah, as you can see, these guys down there having a party. Alright, let's see if I can go over here with this guy. Follow me! I truly don't understand why they don't try to get closer to you. That's just part of the pathfinding for some reason. I could realistically make it so they only add on to the pathfinding. So instead of redoing their pathfinding from their start point, what they can do is basically add on onto their pathfinding. I could see that being an issue, where that if you like do a snake trail, they'll follow the whole snake trail, because they'll just be adding on more pathfinding steps and all that stuff. Come here. Let's go. Let's get a whole bunch of these things spawn. Whoop, no, I don't want to change the time. Let's get a whole bunch of these bad boys. Oh god, they're suffocating me. Come on, guys. Let's go. As you can see, like this, it works fairly well. They'll follow you. There's just a giant line of them. which I think is pretty funny. They're very orderly. Oh god, they're on top of each other now. No, why? Come on, guys. And then I'll just let them go. And they just scatter, and then they'll come right back. But yeah, I think I have pretty much shown off the current state of this. It's a little iffy. It's getting a little bit better. I've got to research some of the code, how the mobs act, some of the flaws of them, and all that stuff. But when I see that they're a little bit better, I'll make another update video, maybe tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, guys, this is a pretty big project, so I apologize if videos aren't as frequent, like in my smaller mods. But when you're dealing with something as big as mob AI, then it's good to take breaks in between and just refocus your mindset on what you were doing. Because if not, then you'll get basically all my other mob AIs where I rushed it and they came out really sloppily. But yeah, I think this might be a pretty good mob AI eventually. So that's about it for now, guys. If you want to have some sheep following you around when you're holding dry grass, then feel free to download it. The GitHub is in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.